Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Knoll. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. Now, today's no different. Today, we are back to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Garcelle in particular. It's kind of interesting, and it's another rumor from Dumois. We'll get into that. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, so we're hearing rumors that Garcelle will be finished after this season. And where is that rumor coming from? This is another thing that I just have to say. We've been going through this rumor mill for quite some time, whether it's the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the Real Housewives of New York, Real Housewives of Atlanta. And a lot of these rumors come from Dumois. If you don't follow them, they do have some, we've seen credible rumors, but then we've also seen rumors that have been completely debunked. But I believe that's because they get their information from anonymous sources. So people write into them, and sometimes maybe somebody just wants to start a rumor for the heck of it. I don't actually know. But this latest rumor is that Garcelle is sick of filming with these women and that she will be exiting after season 11. I don't want to put words out there. This is what was said. So a source told Dumois that Garcelle is sick of being around the ladies and she feels like they're not being authentic at all. So as a result of that, this will be her last season filming the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, mind you, she doesn't need the show. I'm sure the show is a great source of income, but she's also on The Real. She's also an actress. She books other things. She would be okay without the show, I'm sure. But is it something she wants to so easily walk away from? If anything, if I were her, honestly, if any of us were her, I would kind of look at Denise Richards' situation, because Denise Richards, and mind you, Garcelle is not demanding the same paycheck Denise Richards was, because she commanded $4 million for 4 seasons, and that was her contract, even though she only lasted 2 seasons. So we don't know how much she actually got paid out of that. Now, again, Garcelle is not making that same money. We're pretty sure of it. But at the end of the day, I'm sure this money, it adds up. I'm sure she's doing pretty okay, especially because the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the ratings are great. She's coming through the season as one of the MVPs. She's calling people out, reading people up and down for filth, tearing them down and building them back up. Garcelle, we are here for. We were here for her last season, but this season, absolutely, her and Sutton Strack, they're bringing it home because they're asking the questions that a lot of us want to know. And unfortunately, some of the other women are playing Switzerland. And if you guys missed my interview yesterday with Lene Brody from Hollywood Life, she even said, you have a Switzerland in every group. It's not just the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She noted that we could go through every single franchise and find that one friend who doesn't really take a side. Now, for Garcelle, her side is this is right and this is wrong. So if you're going to say something, then you need to own it, in the words of Lisa Rinna. However, she's not as relentless as Lisa Rinna. She just calls it out and then she's like, yeah, what do you have to say about that? She's not like digging in at you like, let's talk about it. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. That's not Garcelle's approach, which we can all appreciate. Now, a fan did share on Twitter that they hope this isn't true, and Garcelle responded in such a subtle way. She responded not totally debunking the rumors, but she did answer with emojis, which is so frustrating because what are you actually saying here? And it was a laughing, crying emoji and also a shrugging emoji. So what does that actually mean? Does that mean, yes, you are sick of the women, so you could potentially walk away? Or are you just teasing us because that's what the Real Housewives do? So many questions. Another fan said, Garcelle, we need you on the show, and I think you should negotiate for a higher pay, which if she does come on for another season, they always get their pay increased, unless, again, of course, you're Denise Richards and you sign on for 4 seasons and you just have that, one set pay, you have an agreement. But for most of the women, they're not a shoo-in for the next season. They always sign season by season because casting can change at any moment. When you think you're safe, like Vicki Gunvalson, the OG of the OC, you can have that little orange, apple, diamond, snowflake, whatever you think that you might be holding as a full-time position, you can have it taken away from you just as fast as it was given to you. Even though Vicki Gunvalson did have a long run, but this person also said you and Sutton are carrying the show. So again, negotiate for a higher pay. But hold on, wait, there's more. Another fan said, I wouldn't blame you if this was true, but I say capitalize on your popularity and then go demand from Evolution that they choose someone next season for the show that you handpicked. You are the future of this franchise. She has a lot of love. I like that. We have a third one also adding that Bravo needs to fire Lisa and Rinna because they're fake and they have no storyline, and they need to bring in 2 friends of yours. That way they can break up this little clique of what they're calling bullies that, well, interfere and get people kicked off every single season. I wonder if they're talking about the Fox Force 5. Finally, the last fan wrote, you and Sutton brought this season to life, and you are correct. The 4 divas, well, they're not authentic, and also they are stale. These fans are so relentless. Honestly, if they're this relentless, maybe we should try to test one of the fans for the show. Then again, every time we get a new housewife, they definitely are a fan of the show. It keeps going. Now, this rumor shouldn't come as any surprise because Garcelle did say last season that she would not return for season 11 if Denise Richards wasn't returning. So we all thought she wasn't coming back in the first place, but that wasn't the case. Obviously, we know she's on the show now, and she does throw a little bit of shade, which we're all here for. She did shade the women and said, you know, all of these women, they're great actors in this group. Everybody should get an Academy Award. I think sometimes people put up certain fronts and that's not really who they are. So I think everybody deserves an Academy Award. One of the memes that was circulating after this last week's episode was Dorit when she went back and forth with Garcelle. And Garcelle said, really? When they're going back and forth at this Rinna Beauty situation. And she goes, really? And everyone was like, wait a minute, wait, is that Dorit's real voice? Instead of the blender of different, I mean, it's like sometimes I've read fans say it sounds like anywhere between 5 to 10 different accents coming into one, even to the point that Kathy Hilton thought that she was her English friend. And they were like, no, babe, she's from Connecticut. And she's like, well, whatever. But really, it is kind of confusing. And Kathy Hilton is not the only person who's ever said anything about Dorit's accent. A lot of the women have questioned her accent. And I'm just wondering, is there a real one behind that? The only reason I say this is because when I left Tennessee, I did an interview with Macy Bookout from Teen Mom. And when I did, you can hear me talking like this. And I had a little bit of a Southern twang, which is, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And somehow after going to LA, I lost that Southern twang. Over time, it just disappeared. So I'm wondering, is there some roots? Like, what does it sound like if you're from Connecticut? And is that what Dorit really sounds like? I don't know. I feel like I'm being a little bit shady here, but I do have questions and I want to hear the accent that she started life off with. Is that too much to ask? Guys, with that, I want to hear all of your opinions. Do you feel like Garcelle will end up leaving the franchise after season 11, or do you think that this is another BS rumor and there's no way in hell she is walking away from this paycheck? She can hold her own. She's already proven it. She's a fan favorite. I really hope she doesn't walk away. And do you think there's a different accent under there for Dorit? Are we just not getting it? Is it something else? I'm curious what you have to say. Okay, now I'm done being shady. Guys, you know what to do. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell. Because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.